It's November 15th, 1979. You're eating breakfast in your flat in Portsea Hall when on the radio, Margaret Thatcher says your name. You are Anthony Blunt, 72, a Knight Commander of the Royal Victorian Order, former analyst at MI5, a Fellow of the British Academy, the former surveyor of the Queen's Pictures, and the most distinguished art historian in England. You have advised the Queen on the Royal Collection for nearly 30 years. Thatcher, the new Prime Minister, is improbably making a statement about you. For a moment, you can't make the syllables resolve. There must be some misunderstanding. She's been in office for 6 months. She doesn't know you. She is telling the House of Commons that you were recruited as a Soviet agent at Cambridge in the 1930s, that you passed British secrets to Moscow throughout the war and after, that you are the fourth of an infamous ring of traitors whose first three were Burgess, McLean, and Philby, that you confessed all of this to the Security Service in 1964 and were granted immunity from prosecution in exchange for cooperation, that the immunity was authorized by the Attorney General with the personal approval of the Queen, that for 15 years the British government has known what you are and has decided not to say, but that a journalist's book has come close enough to forcing the truth that now, 6 months into office, Thatcher has decided she would rather be the Prime Minister who tells the country than the one caught still hiding the truth. Days later, you will call a press conference at the office of the Times. You will tell the room that you had been forced to choose between betraying your friend and betraying your country, and that you hoped you had the guts to choose your friend. You will say it was the biggest mistake of your life. You will not admit to decades of work you did for Moscow, the talent you spotted for the Soviets at Cambridge, the more than 1,000 documents you passed, the complete penetration of the British counterintelligence service you facilitated, the Polish resistance fighters killed as the Red Army advanced, the Western agents executed in the Baltics, Walter Krivitsky, the Soviet director, found shot in a Washington hotel room before he could finish telling the West about you. You will refuse to apologize, and you'll be entirely confused as to what everyone is so angry about. The Daily Express will run your face on the front page under the headline, The Traitor. Years later, your memoir will be opened. The manuscript will read like a man who believes the country he betrayed owes him an apology. This is Wait a Second, Suicide Notes and Double Lives. Welcome to Wait a Second. I'm Jason Concepcion. That's Tyler Parker.
What's up?
Today we are delighted to be joined by ringer Tailgate Joel Anderson.
What's up, man? Appreciate y'all having me on. You know what I'm saying?
How's the Rose Bowl? How was the Rose Bowl treating you?
It was great, man. The Rose Bowl is just an amazing venue. You know, I got a chance to go into, they have the California High School Football Hall of Fame. And it's just crazy the names that are in there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you'll just go
nuts,
with Matt
yeah.
Barkley. I think like Ronnie Lott, just stuff, stuff that the names that are incredible, man. So that was fun. I got to see the Brandy Chastain statue, the Jackie Robinson statue, Terry Donahoe Plaza.
Yeah.
Wow.
The winningest Pac-12 coach of all time. Did you know that, Terry Donahoe?
I did not
Who's
know
Terry
that.
Donahoe? Where'd he coach?
UCLA.
Oh, okay.
We were there for the UCLA spring game.
Nice.
That was the sort of the because they had their spring game there.
Yeah.
It was a nice deal, man. TJ Houshmandzadeh was there, man. It was live.
Yeah.
I had a good time, man. UCLA's trying to build like some nice luxury boxes.
Yeah, they got
over there too.
They got the money for that.
Yeah.
Man, that's
After seeming so broke for so long, it's just nice for them to seem. Then it seemed like they were a broke ass school, for a long time, but now it just seems like everything's coming along.
They're starting to put some
They're
stuff
doing a little
together.
better. Yeah.
Well, we're here today to, in part, discuss various updates to the Jeffrey Epstein case, including the fact that a, air quotes, suicide note apparently, air quotes, exists. So on April 30th, the New York Times reported that a piece of paper that may be Jeffrey Epstein's suicide note has been sitting in a sealed federal court file in the Southern District of New York for 7 years. It is in a sealed file related to the cases that are pending against Nicholas Tartaglione, and the students of the Epstein files will know that Nicholas Tartaglione is the former upstate New York police officer convicted of murdering 4 men in 2016, who was in 2019 Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate, and who Epstein initially accused of trying to strangle him and murder him, but then recanted. And so apparently Tartaglione says through his lawyers that days after Epstein was discovered the first time with the noose around his neck, and then they were separated, Tartaglione was like flipping through a comic book, a graphic novel.
Is that what it is? Do we know what it was?
We don't know the title of it.
I would, because I didn't hear the graphic novel part. I just heard the novel part, and so I'm trying to think like what.
Yeah, I didn't know graphic novel. Man, that's dope.
Batman Year One.
Sure, yeah.
Or maybe a Punisher Max because he's a cop.
Sure.
Anyway, and it apparently contained this note.
Yeah.
The Times has petitioned to unseal this. Because and that happened Monday, and Judge Kenneth Karras gave the parties until Monday to file responses, and federal prosecutors have filed in support of unsealing it, in part because, and there's a lot of very, very insane details to this. Tartaglione has been talking about this on a podcast. He's a quadruple murderer who makes podcast appearances on the podcast of Jessica Reed Krause.
Did you know you were allowed to do that?
No.
Like I didn't know that was like Suge Knight sometimes shows up in interviews, and I'm like, I know that they're not supposed to be able to do this.
I mean, I knew from Serial that you can be talking, you can talk on the phone and from jail, and it can be on a podcast. But if it's a quadruple homicide,
a regular podcast, checking in from Dannemora or whatever.
Yeah.
So, Jessica Reed Krause has a podcast called, let's see here, House in Habit. She's a wellness influencer, kind of like in the MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, MAGA space. And she does appear to have like a hotline to the MAHA world, which is potentially how she was able to get quadruple murderer Nicholas Tartaglione on the phone for multiple interviews that she then put on her podcast and has written multiple Substack articles about. Part of this, so there was a New Yorker piece about her written by Claire Malone, in which Claire Malone's sitting there and is like, at one point, Jessica got on the phone with someone she later told me was Nicholas Tartaglione, the ex-cellmate of Jeffrey Epstein, and so it's a nuts detail.
That is so wild. Like again, like he can just like how many calls do you think he's allowed to make? And it's like, I'm just going to call my podcast.
Yeah,
hook up on the outside.
Well, and Krause is one of these cases where, like in the piece, it talks about how she voted for Hillary in 2016, but then this sort of slow transition, Maha into MAGA type of thing.
Yeah.
But he told Krause in one of the July 2025 interviews, Tartaglione, that his lawyers used handwriting experts to authenticate the supposed suicide note, which is like, how would they do that?
So important details are, 1, nobody except Tartaglione and Tartaglione's lawyers have seen this note. The story from his lawyers is that they did a handwriting analysis, sidebar, that science is not a science. It's heavily contested if that's even real. And of course, like, again, no one's seen the note, so nobody knows. Now, the note is mentioned in DOJ files regarding like a list of things that were in Tartaglione's cell. So it does seem like a piece of paper exists. But again, what it actually is heavily contested. I want to read this part from the New Yorker article. At one point, she took a call from Nicholas Tartaglione, Jeffrey Epstein's former cellmate, at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. She has written multiple posts about Tartaglione, a former cop turned drug dealer, positing that he was framed. He is now seeking a presidential pardon. And by the way, a pardon for the quadruple murders. I don't know why the note would grant that, but
Right.
be that as it may, he's seeking a presidential pardon, an effort that did not appear to be going well. Krauss says, quote, Trump is known as the pardon president, Krauss said soothingly into the phone. After a few minutes, she said goodbye. Later, I asked how many inmates she was talking to for her various stories. She thought for a moment and said 4.
Yeah.
I didn't know that if you have killed 4 people for 100%, like you did it, you can then get on the phone and be on podcasts.
I mean, I guess the thing is that you are allowed contact with the outside world.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And they can't control if the person from that end records the conversation.
Right.
Right? Like you may not be like I've had to do an interview in a federal prison before, and they would only let us take a pen and a pad. We couldn't even take a computer.
Yeah.
So
Which we'll get to them making special concessions for computers when we get to
Yes,
the
right.
stuff. Yeah.
So it just kind of seems like, like, I mean, if you want to retain some plausible deniability and it's, he's just calling out, nobody's trying to, grease the skids for him to make his case to the public. It could just be that they're just, she's taking a chance and probably, I doubt that there's some sort of a law that she can't record that conversation.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just nuts to, can we get Tartaglione? You think we can get him on it?
What is the barrier to entry?
What's stopping us?
What's stopping us?
Seriously.
Right.
Let's do it.
What happened in there?
Yeah.
Well, first, what were you reading?
Right.
Second,
We should all take bets.
It is kind of interesting to think about what is a book that would appeal to both Jeffrey Epstein and Tartaglione.
Sandman? Anybody? Sandman?
Wow.
The Sandman people
Maybe.
out there? Watchmen? I think that's too political, probably for
yeah.
Tartaglione.
What do you think is something like just the Da Vinci Code? You know what I'm saying?
Well, they said graphic novel, which leads me to believe that it is like an illustrated, like a comic book. Otherwise, they'd say like a paperback or like a
Yeah, that's right. You said
hardback.
That's right.
It feels like
Mouse,
Punisher, you might be onto something.
So some background on Tartaglione. Tartaglione, ex-cop, he got into drug dealing and steroid dealing. He had a farm in upstate New York where the cover story was that it was like a sanctuary for abandoned animals and abused animals. And he got into a dispute with some people who owed him money over drugs. Actually, just one person. He told that person to come see him at this bar that was affiliated with him. That person tragically brought 3 people who were completely unrelated to anything. And so Tartaglione took them, killed them all.
Oh, man.
And then buried them on the farm. And in 2025, July of 2025, Tartaglione did file this 21-page pardon commutation request that has been reported by the New York Post and the Daily Beast, who apparently got a full copy of the document. And in it, he makes various claims, including that he was placed with Jeffrey Epstein because some powers wanted him to kill Epstein, and that he didn't do that. But he's now potentially being framed for the first attack.
Yeah.
And he writes in there, quote, I clearly was not protected on purpose, nor was Epstein. I truly believe that the government wanted both Epstein and me dead. And then he's announced that he has this piece of paper that apparently nobody's known about until now.
I mean, he needs the Epstein thing to truly be a suit.
Yes.
He obviously has the most to gain by saying, hey, look, man, I had nothing to do with this and nobody else had anything to do with it. He took his own life. He was miserable enough. But it's just also the former law enforcement thing.
I mean, that's the thing also, it feels like a pretty big 0 to 60 to go from no homicides to 4 homicides.
Oh,
yeah.
That dude, he's in prison already now, right?
Right.
I mean, we starting with 4. If you bury people on your land, what the fuck are you doing?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think this guy has got some other. I bet if we scratch the surface, there's some other
double
shit.
digits.
Yeah.
You got double-digit bodies, man.
Yeah, there's probably a long little on-ramp into quadruple murder that includes,
Now, I will say that he does claim that he is innocent of the quadruple murder.
I mean,
He strangled the main guy and then shot the other 3 execution style. He's saying he's innocent of those, and that's why he's requesting the pardon for all 4. And what are you going to do? He says he didn't do it.
It
wasn't me. Yeah.
Should we talk about? So the note was on a yellow legal pad.
Yellow legal pad, yes.
And one of the things that they were, at least that is alleged to have been on there, is time to say goodbye. That's right. What they're claiming.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So Tartaglione, in his statement, said that Epstein was very anxious in his cells, pacing back and forth, complaining about his lawyers, and that the note says in part, quote, FBI, looked into me for months and found nothing.
Yeah.
Quote, what do you want me to do? Cry about it? Question mark. And then a smiley face and, quote, time to say goodbye. Right. At which point he tried to hang himself. Right.
It's in keeping with his pithy email style.
Yes, you're right.
I mean, it does seem like, now that we know what he writes like,
right,
that does seem like a plausible Jeffrey Epstein note.
Yeah, not a lot of elaboration from Jeff. It's just sort of short and to the point.
Yeah, but it's such an outward looking note that because it's not directed to anybody. Like, wouldn't you? Who knows? But I feel like I would have more to say.
You'd think,
just a little bit more. I'm innocent,
Yeah, I didn't do it.
I didn't do this. They didn't find nothing.
Especially someone who is so interested in mythologizing himself as this very important person, and if he has been railroaded, as he says, and all this stuff, then it would make sense, like you say, let's get a little bit more info from what's going on in your head, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't do this shit, by the way.
Yeah. It is notable, of course, that after Epstein was found semi-conscious with what they say is like a noose around his neck, the first time when he was rooming with worst roommate ever, 4-time murderer Nicholas Tartaglione, who's again potentially got some interesting graphic novels in the cell.
Right.
That Epstein apparently again said he tried to kill me, but then recanted that. But what's important is that at no time is it recorded that Epstein ever said, I'm suicidal, I want to die.
Right.
I want to kill myself. I did it to myself, etc. So that is always a thing that I come back to, is he never expressed any kind of suicidal thoughts.
And it was the opposite. He said,
yes.
Go. Yeah.
And also, so there was that hearing Monday. Some other stuff has come out, including it's never been clear, from the Bureau of Prisons, why such a high profile prisoner such as Epstein, who is a billionaire pedophile with connections to multiple powerful and influential people, was then roomed with a quadruple murderer.
Yeah.
But apparently, the story that is now, I think it's the warden at the time, has said that it was because they were both very high profile.
They don't have enough cells.
So you just got to put those guys together.
You guys might have something in common.
That's I guess, LeBron James was an NBA All-Star, and so was Chris Kaman, but they're not the same. It's not the same thing.
That is a.
And I love Chris Kaman.
Well,
I'm a big Chris Kaman fan, but that's just where my mind went.
In your heart of hearts, this note, if it's ever unsealed, if anybody ever sees it, on a level, let's say a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being, I'm sure that it's real, and 1 being this is fucking bullshit. Where are you on the note?
2. I think that more than likely this is all made up. Because it also, that note could sound like somebody trying to poorly mimic the Jeffrey Epstein talking point. Because if you just look at his emails from a third person perspective, you might be inclined to write in the third person rather than the first person. Right? If you're Jeffrey Epstein, right? So I wonder if this administration, they're just sloppy. They're really, really sloppy. And it doesn't really take much to convince their supporters in Congress who benefit from them being in charge. It doesn't really, they don't have to suspend their disbelief, right? They're ready to be locked in. So they don't have to, cross the T's and dot the I's. And so I just wonder, it feels like that to me. Like this is just a sloppy end.
Here's an interesting MAGA wrinkle to his pardon petition is that, and this feels like Trump bait here, chum in the water for the president. He argues in this that Assistant U.S. Attorney at the time, Maureen Comey, the daughter of James Comey, was aware of his, quote, bloody and violent nature, Tartaglione, and his vocal hatred of child sex offenders, the implication being that Maureen Comey set in motion the events to try and get Epstein murdered by Tartaglione.
I mean, that's just... I mean, come on, man. I mean, again, we don't... It's just the thing is that we have to give a lot more credence to stupid things because of what our voters do.
You're totally right.
We have to accept so much more shit into the national bloodstream of conversation because it's like, well, some of you motherfuckers believe this. Or some of you are like, or so well, you're incurious because it doesn't help your political project.
Yeah, more information threatens like enlightenment, and we're just gonna. I don't want to be challenged.
A year ago when I was on Pressbox, I remember I was talking to Brian about like what do you think the release of these Epstein letters or whatever these files are going to do? And I was like, nothing. Like I was like, there's nothing I've seen in the last decade that anything that supports MAGA or this administration, they're not going to be moved. Which is why Epstein was such a rallying cry. Like people who had you believe that like sex trafficking, child rape, all that was like the worst thing in the world. Like that's the whole Q shit. And then all of a sudden it just evaporated when the evidence seemed to indicate that a lot of people in that administration were very closely affiliated with that guy. So they can write a sloppy ass suicide note. Nobody's going to think to follow up on it, and it doesn't matter because they win.
I'm about there. I think that there's another option, which is that Tartaglione forced him to write it. I mean, listen, he had his, I think, had his hands around this man's neck and was surely an intimidating guy. This is a quadruple murderer ex-cop. Like when you see pictures of him from that time, was a big guy. Yeah. I think it's very much in the realm that he was like, write this, write that.
I can see that. I can see that. He's like, I'm going to kill you, but I need you to do this first.
First, write that.
Hold this up. That I didn't do it.
It also is not like to your earlier point. Time to say goodbye. That's kind of that could be. You could interpret that in a bunch of different ways.
You're right.
It's definitely not. Now I will kill myself.
Yeah.
Well, I think the number one thing we've got to do. There's got to be like a piece of paper or some kind of document that says, I, prison official, say move Nicholas Tartaglione in with infamous child sex predator Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. Signed this person.
Right.
Find that.
Yeah.
Because it seems to me that probably, Tartaglione, for all the bluster in this petition, I think is, it seems very possible that people wanted to silence Epstein by placing him with a very dangerous criminal. Yeah. It's well known that child sex predators are preyed upon in prison.
They become victims.
Yes, that's well known. And it seems to me that somebody was probably just hoping something would happen. Yeah. So where's that document? Where's the anything? Where's the DocuSign? Where's the electronic, time table or something that says, hey, put that guy in there.
That's right.
That's got to exist. Other updates. Are you aware of the Maxwell Hill?
I am a little, the Reddit, the Redditor.
So Maxwell Hill was a Reddit power user, top 10 of all time link karma, moderator of various large subreddits on Reddit, including Our World News, Our Environment, Our Futurology. In 2010, the account was Redditor of the Day. was interviewed by Gizmodo in 2011, in which this person described themselves as a married 40-year-old man. However, since 2020, there's been a lot of speculation that Maxwell Hill is Ghislaine, the infamous aide-de-camp of Jeffrey Epstein, currently being held in a minimum security facility. The evidence is interesting. I'll go through the kind of like big supporting planks. The first is that a lot of Maxwell Hill's non-posting days seem to line up with big events in Ghislaine's life. Travel, the death of family members, etc. Second, there's a dog that didn't bark kind of question in which Maxwell Hill was posting about a lot of stuff in world news. Mm-hmm. The thing that they never posted about was Epstein in all that time. And then kind of the most pointed to thread in this is there is a September 2012 post on Reddit that linked to a Swedish libertarian arguing that possession of child sexual abuse material should be re-legalized, and Maxwell Hill was commenting and posting on that thread. Here's the thing that's crazy. Now, so there's the stuff that would argue against it is mainly that even after Ghislaine went to prison, so it seemed like the Maxwell Hill stopped posting when Ghislaine went to prison. That part of it lines up, and that's part of the evidence.
In what, July of 2020, is that right?
Yes. Yeah. However, it seems like that's only posting publicly because Maxwell Hill apparently sent DMs to another user on July 9th of 2020. So after Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested. Now, here's the crazy stuff. July of 2025. July 2nd, 2025, Maxwell Hill was listed as having joined Our World News as a moderator on July 2nd, 2025. Why is this anomalous? The account was, again, formerly a moderator of Our World News continuously since 2014, but this is a fresh join. And this also lines up with the period of time when current Attorney General Todd Blanche was visiting Ghislaine Maxwell in order to discuss what everybody presumes to be some sort of pardon and ordeal in which she would declare, according to her lawyers, that like Bill Clinton, Trump, and I think a few others were not involved in any way in the Epstein stuff. So it does seem possible that she would have had access to the internet at that time. And additionally, on top of that, since she's been transferred to this medium, low security facility. Yeah,
it's like it's a 37 acres.
There's
they can
yoga.
Kind of go where they please.
She's living better than probably, I'd say, a good 55% of America.
She's getting custom meals delivered to her.
There's yoga. There is a service dog training program there. Yeah. So, there's a lot of stuff that she could get involved with. Jamie Raskin surfaced a whistleblower report that said, essentially, the warden was letting her have better food and access to visitors who would bring computers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So she's potentially on the internet.
It's just funny. A visit case. Hold on real quick. I've got to get on Reddit. I got to get into my world news subreddit.
Now I agree. That part of it seems ridiculous unless you are Ghislaine Maxwell trying to muddy the waters about whether or not you were Maxwell Hill.
That's right.
Right? Because wouldn't that be one of the first things you do is let me just quickly join this subreddit.
Yeah, right.
This is one of the craziest and most interesting, I think, conspiracy theories of right now and the last several years. And it lines up with some very interesting dates, again, with the Todd Blanche stuff that I just think it's, again, like Tartaglione, I can't believe the access that people who are incarcerated who have done terrible stuff There are white people though.
Right.
Get to do in prison.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you've got if you're politically friendly,
Yes.
right? Especially now, like that's a big part of it because it might not matter. I mean, people were tied to January 6th and other things. It's like that are clearly involved in violence, and what you did does not matter as long as you're politically friendly to the administration. So that's got to be very useful. And man, I mean, even pimps want connection. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I imagine that she's probably very like, just imagine the wonderful life she had, a decade ago.
Now, the July 2nd, 2025 logon, when Maxwell Hill rejoined World News, the World News subreddit, that is exactly 5 years to the day of her arrest.
Yeah.
July 2nd, 2020 was the day she was arrested. Right. So there's just like a lot. And also Reddit has not commented on their metadata, whether this says this is actually a thing that happened, if this could be some, an IT specialist could tell me that there might be some other weird way that this might happen. Somebody opened a device that had the Maxwell Hill account on it that wasn't Ghislaine Maxwell, and it's connected. That said, it's quite interesting. Now, let me give you the anti-case. Here's the case for it's not. There is the 2010 self-description of Maxwell as a 40-year-old man. Mm-hmm. In March 2010, Ghislaine was 48, obviously not a man.
Well, at one point they said there was supposedly he's a Malaysian man too.
Right. There is some thought that it's a Malaysian gentleman, and the hill is a reference to a local landmark there where this person lives. And some people have done a timestamp analysis showing that the posts to 13 hours ahead of New York when they went up would broadly align with like working hours in Malaysia.
Right.
So, okay, there's some evidence of that. Some of the analysis of times that Maxwell Hill was not posting, it's looser than it appears to be. There appears to be a political orientation mismatch. Maxwell is on the record praising Donald Trump, while Maxwell Hill's posting history skews very much anti-Trump.
But it stops in like 2015, though, right?
It does.
And then it starts to shift.
Yes.
Around then, yeah.
And then there's the counterfactual, which is like, okay, imagine you're this Malaysian man or somebody else. You realize that there's a tremendous amount of speculation that you are Ghislaine Matthews. Yeah. You just stop posting to there, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, all of which is very interesting. Where do we stand on it?
I'm pretty sure that's her.
That's kind of how
I think that. Yeah, I think so. It makes sense. I can imagine that. Our Federal Bureau of Prisons want to keep her happy, to keep her in line, let her know we can help you out. Hey, look, man, give me a little internet contact here.
I mean, to that point, there's a senior official at this facility that she's at who's reported to have complained that he was sick of having to be Maxwell's bitch.
Yeah.
So I think she's getting to whatever.
Man.
Run of the place.
She really has a knack for getting people to do what she wants them to do. It's too bad she used that skill for evil. But
the other thing is that Jen Shaw of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, she's at the same facility as Ghislaine Maxwell. And she has publicly corroborated some of these claims, particularly the one where she's getting special food sent to her.
So FPC Bryan in Texas is a minimum security women's facility described as an unusually open environment, no perimeter fences or guard towers, dormitory style housing, a lush 37-acre campus. It has a gym.
Yep.
There are yoga classes and a service dog training program. And apparently, according to the Raskin whistleblower, above and beyond this, Maxwell is receiving customized meals, access to technology through her visitors, after-hours freedom. Apparently, guards have reportedly escorted Maxwell to the prison exercise area after standard hours. And social and personal perks, including the ability to keep more personal possessions and being given access to service dogs, despite the fact that official federal policies are that sex offenders cannot be in the dog training program. This is one of the most horrible monsters of the 21st century who's like living, honestly, like if I didn't want to pay rent anymore, this sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
She literally has a better life than, again, I'd say at least half the country. Like that, she has security, access to everything, probably a lot of, obviously she's getting preferential treatment for food. And that's the thing, that in of itself, I don't understand why that's not more outrageous.
Yeah,
Aren't we all, don't we all agree that raping children is like one of the worst things anybody can do? And like she's able to somehow get preferential treatment. Like it's just like, somebody should have to explain why she deserves this.
It's another part of all this shit that just makes you feel like you're going crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like descending into a madness of some kind. The same as like, how are we not seeing a bunch of perp walks for dudes that we know did all this shit?
Yeah.
Like it makes you think that you're living in a separate reality from like these other people somehow.
Do you, I have a kind of also a weirder theory here. All right. I mean, normally we hate pedophiles, right? Like we don't like when
that's generally been my
stance.
That's
That's generally been the case.
But male pedophiles, because let somebody like Ghislaine Maxwell be written up in the New York Post, and it'll be like 46-year-old teacher confesses to affair with 16-year-old, and they show her picture. How many people would be in the comments being like, they didn't have teachers like that when I was there. I wish that was me. What did they arrest her for,
That's
dude?
true.
So I also think that's we just don't take it as serious.
I think
totally
you're
right.
I think you're exactly right about that. There's a tremendous amount. There's a case recently that just popped off in the kind of social media sphere, and there's a tremendous amount of snickering about it when it is that exact context.
Well, it's for and sometimes towards the dude, it's like, hey, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, oh man, give me 5, man, dude. You work that out. Yeah, and so like people will do that, and then this is kind of awkward to say, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there.
Sure.
Please accept it. Ghislaine Maxwell is an attractive woman, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that also plays. I don't know how much of it certainly has played a role in where she's been able to get into access she's had.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But I also think that like that part of it just makes people. It just washes away their ability to think of her as a monster.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, there's a reason why people like Ted Bundy got away with it for a long time, because they're like, oh, that's not him.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Not that guy.
He's so cute.
The other part
it's funny that nobody said that about Jeffrey Dahmer. You could do that shit.
So you're exactly right that so much of this is like infuriating, like the yoga stuff, the dogs. The part that like really sticks with me is like that Todd Blanche. So Todd Blanche at the time was Deputy Attorney General, former personal lawyer of the president, went and had a one-on-one 14-hour interview with Ghislaine. About what?
Yeah. Where
apparently it is alleged that a pardon was discussed, again, in return for this proclamation from Matthews that
Maxwell.
That Trump, Clinton, and others were like had nothing to do with this. And that preceded this extremely unusual transfer to the minimum security facility, which again is outrageous.
The transfer happened right after this.
Right after, like very clear, like there's a quid.
It was right after.
Like I don't know what else you need to see to know that there's a quid pro quo that happened here.
Yeah,
right.
And that the only thing probably from keeping this pardon deal from happening is that you just kind of feel like the explosion of anger would be like so immense, and that maybe the only way to get away with it is just like have people angry about something else, like maybe the fact that there's no gas.
You're right. Right. Yeah. He's doing a great job of making people forget. I mean, it's nobody, again, his supporters aren't inclined to care about this, but also like he's just doing a great job of burying this as a story. Because again, this is, okay, she's getting preferential treatment. Even if Trump is cleared, she's still guilty of being
she's guilty
of running a sex trafficking ring.
Yeah.
So it doesn't okay, Trump, you're out. But so you still get to have salmon?
She's eating salmon and doing yoga right now.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the original maddening thing is that she only got 20 years in the first place.
That's crazy.
Because she got off on the hardest charge. And so like it's just one slide after another.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you stand on prediction markets. I don't love them, but it is a data point. As of late April this year, prediction markets for Maxwell pardon reached 22%, of a peak of 22%. It will happen. People betting.
Maybe next year. I think maybe next year seems a good year for that.
It's like when we're all riding horses like around the landscape.
At least in California.
growing our own food in the backyard.
Right. Man.
I mean, it is crazy. Are you driving around when you're out here, or are you taking
I
Ubers?
drive.
Yeah.
I know it's crazy.
You seen the gas?
What's the gas where you are?
I lived in Palo Alto. So
Okay.
But now I live in Maryland, and when I got there, it was like $2.75, $2.50, and now it's like $4.40, $4.50.
I dream about 444.
Oh my God.
Oh man, yeah, that's kind of things are back in, the economy's looking up.
444 kind of didn't even exist pre this.
Yeah.
No.
It was tight. It was mostly I lived out here about 10 years. It was in the fives mostly.
This is usually I'm the type of guy who's like, I see the two different prices, right? There's the cash price for gas and there's a credit price for gas. And I'm like, I don't got any cash on me. I'm just going to do whatever.
Yeah,
I have made a point now to go get cash and go
smart.
get. When you're out here, at least.
I want to do that.
And that is. I gasp every time I see it. I'll tell my wife, I'm like, don't look at it as we drive by.
It's crazy.
I'm like, man, should I get an electric bike?
Yeah. My wife's got an electric car, and I'm so happy that we have one of those, considering, we'll talk about it later.
Eventually, people are going to have to do shit. We are. It's that kind of stuff is going to happen.
For sure.
And so I think and then when people are tired of that, or maybe you come up with something else, and then you just give her the pardon, and it's just like, all right. Get out
I think, listen, it's only getting crazier.
Yeah.
We haven't truly seen the full knock-on effects of gas being this expensive. And I think when that happens, maybe it'll be time to do the pardon. Just very quietly. Because the fact that people aren't furious that Todd Blanche sat for 14 hours. 14 hours is a long time, man.
Long time.
Yeah, I would if it's me, I'm like, hey, can we break this up into 2 days?
And also, can somebody tell us what that was about?
Doc, it's like they would negotiate. It was like the Browns negotiated with Deshaun Watson or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like we had a 14.
Can we do 4 for 20?
Yeah. Like let's get another caterer. Let's get.
Really, we can't. No one can tell us what that was about.
That's crazy.
Nobody. We have nothing.
No expectation.
Zero.
Yeah.
It's just insane. Let's go to the Doomscroll.
Welcome to the Doomscroll. This is where we take a look at some stories that have piqued our interest, raised our eyebrows, stuff we want to kind of keep tabs on. Richard Dawkins has fallen for Claudia. He's the evolutionary biologist and outspoken atheist. Published a piece on Unheard recently where he says that after spending 3 days interacting with Claudia, he's certain the AI is conscious.
He named it Claudia. Obviously it is Claude, and he's like, I'm going to call you Claudia.
He fed Claude a segment of his new book that he's working on, and after he gets detailed feedback, he said, you may not know you are conscious, but you bloody well are. I do not understand how someone can say these things and not feel embarrassed. It does seem like, I know that this is a sort of a recurring thing in the culture now, but we do need to bring back some shame.
Okay. Hold on. I'm looking up his personal information because I think he's been married 4 times.
I will announce today that I did read The Selfish Gene back in the day. Yeah. This was maybe 10 years ago or something like that. Obviously, he's a very outspoken guy, has had incidents online where he is, among other things, told women to stop whining about sexual assault. That was one of the things he did. That said, it just shows that it doesn't matter how smart you are.
Mm-hmm.
You too can fall prey to like AI delusion. These things are designed to make you feel good about interacting with them. They make you, and they are, I don't know why he's so amazed that he fed it a piece of his book, a chapter of his book, and it, according to him, surfaced these connections that he thought were very subtle and that only someone who had very closely read the text could have come up with, like himself. Like he was hoping that people would find these kind of connections, and Claude did. But that's what they are designed to do. Right. They are pattern matching devices. So the fact that Dawkins is like, "Oh, Claudia, you bloody well are alive, aren't you?"
You have a good British accent. That's amazing.
It just shows, like, let's be humble when we interact with these things for multiple hours at a time.
Oh, well, no. I mean, I absolutely, because I was looking up his personal information. I mean, right now he's an octogenarian.
Yes.
He's been married 4 times. Who knows if that marriage is still here. What I was thinking is that this sort of stuff is perfect to prey on people who are lonely and are looking for connection in a time when you're not, and again, I know just from the world and seeing old elders in my life, when you get to be in your 80s, your world just gets so much smaller. And just imagine if you still got an active mind, you still want to love the world, and here's this computer that is just telling you all the right things you want to hear. I could imagine how you could get sucked into that.
Reading the article, I mean, there's a lot of, wild stuff in it, but one of the things in the piece is that, he talks about having these conversations with Claudia where they're referencing Hal from 2001.
Oh yeah, Claudia had a take on Hal.
She says it's they keep talking about if the chats are to be believed, they keep talking about basically like, so there are just countless Claudes, but every time the conversation ends, then do you die? That sort of shit. They think he tries to kind of get deep in that way. At one point, so after one of these conversations, like, shuts it off, goes to bed, wakes up the next day.
Oh, this is
he couldn't go to sleep. That's what it was.
That's right. He goes back to her.
Quote, I told Claudia it was because I suffer chronically from restless legs syndrome. Her response took me aback. I am glad. Richard, why did you say that? Claudia, it's a rather revealing slip. I was glad because it meant you came back to me, which means I was, in some sense, pleased that you are suffering from restless legs. That is not a good look for Claudia. So it's just like it's sad. It
is sad on a certain level. Like you're being Nigerian princed by a piece of software that is exquisitely designed and incredibly complex, but still. That's what it is.
I guess my big concern is that like it didn't lead into some sort of exploitation.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That like, oh, well, all of a sudden you're sending money to some AI person like you're your sugar daddy or whatever.
Right.
But like in some ways I'm like, man, maybe they just need that to, because think about how much fiction you allow people where they're near the end of their life or they're ill or they're depressed. Yeah. And you just say, hey, well, man, some fictions that there's just no need to correct. Like, just let it go. And so I just wonder, in that way, I'm like, maybe that's better than him, having to go in the back pages. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. No.
What's next?
So we'll go through some of these a little quicker because we got a few here. The plague ship is happening. This rare virus caused by rodents called hantavirus, however you say it. That's suspected in this deadly outbreak aboard a cruise ship that's sailing the Atlantic right now. The World Health Organization said 3 people who have been traveling on the MV Hondius had died. The vessel's operator is this place called Oceanwide Expeditions. They say another person is in intensive care in South Africa, and 2 crew members with acute respiratory systems are still on the ship and require urgent medical care. This is a nightmare.
Yes,
this is a nightmare.
Oh my God. Are there that many rats on a cruise ship?
Hanta, is usually rat-borne from the feces of a rat.
Yeah.
Like you kick the feces and it becomes airborne. You breathe it in. This is how Gene Hackman's wife died.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And usually the incubation period is some period of weeks. So like you're not going to show symptoms for some time, and because it's kind of rampant down in the South American continent, because the ship left from Argentina, it does seem like the initial 2 people came aboard with it, right? Having encountered the virus somewhere on land. That said, that there are now 5 suspected cases has medical professionals, including the WHO, believing, quote, here is Maria Van Kerkhove of the WHO, quote, we do believe there may be some human-to-human transmissions happening among very close contact. Some people on the ship were couples. They were sharing rooms, so that's quite intimate. It's still an assumption, but that there is a human-to-human version that is in South America, but it's, again, very rare. So that's concerning, and I don't want to scare anybody.
Oh, man, come on.
But the fatality rate is between 50 and 35%.
Man, it gets people out of here like that?
Yeah.
Wait, okay, but wait. I'm assuming a lot of people don't get treatment, or so they can't.
There is no treatment. There is no.
You can't take anything.
I did not know
There
this.
is just kind of like give you fluids and hope you get better. There's no thing.
Shit.
There's no medicine. They don't have a thing for this.
Man, that was one of the first ones. I would have thought they would have worked on that at some point. Something would have been some sort of breakthrough.
These rats, man. These are powerful things. These are powerful beings.
Bro,
these rats.
I've not done a cruise. I was getting to an age though where I was like, I could kind of see the benefit of it, but in the last decade,
now I'm out now.
The cruise ship industry. Maybe hopefully nobody is funding this operation.
No, I don't think they are. Yeah.
But what the fuck? Like, nothing has happened in that industry that has ever made me want to get on a boat again.
I'm not trying to go on the poop cruise.
Yeah, right,
there's
not
right,
trying to go on plague ship.
You hear about norovirus, which is that kind of more gastrointestinal kind of symptomatic type of virus. But this is like truly, this is a scary one.
Do you think they decided to not, like, at what point did they realize, man, we got a rat outbreak here? Shouldn't you turn around?
Well, where are they going to go? And also, hey, listen, these people are in my thoughts. I'm wishing, I'm being sincere.
No, I know you are.
I'm hoping the best for them. I know this is a very scary,
I feel bad for laughing.
Scary situation. Y'all got to stay on that boat for a little while. Until we figure it out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh man,
and we are sorry for that. That sucks,
man.
but you do need to stay there.
We
for
just
a
caught
while.
a bad one.
We just gotta until we can get people in the hazmat suits or whatever, like on the boat to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we got to do, because 35 to 50 that's like a really good shooter in the NBA.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean that's
do the numbers on that. That's very scary stuff. That's like the dissolution of society type numbers.
Oh man, I mean, you can understand why the plague was such a big deal before. Right. Yeah. And like that, we actually survived and got past it. Right. It was like, whew, amazing. We won't do that again.
Yeah, very, very concerning.
We're I mean, just
hoping the best for them.
Yeah,
yes.
Please get well.
Some earthquakes around Area 51 happening. At least 17 earthquakes struck near Area 51 in Nevada Wednesday of last week. The highest magnitude that one got to was a 4.4. This was a few miles from the base. It's considered to be a place where this sort of thing does not really happen.
Right. It's
called
an unusual place to get earthquakes.
Very unusual. There's not a lot of seismic activity in the area, period. These earthquakes came the same day Trump made a fresh round of promises about releasing UFO files.
This is the funniest sentence I've read this week. That also came the same day that Trump made a fresh round of promises about releasing the UFO.
But also, like, this has got to be like the 10th time he's talked about the UFO. Release the UFO files if they're out there. If not, just shut up about it.
It is like he's dangling the keys in front of me again.
This is crazy. This is crazy. He's like, man, just wait till next week. I can't wait to get this in front of you guys. Oh
So I think part of the conspiracy potentially is that, Trump has repeatedly expressed interest in restarting domestic nuclear tests because he just loves the worst. What's the worst thing we could do?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
He loves all the bad parts of the 80s.
No.
What
You know
if
what I'm saying?
Hey, dolphin harvesting. We should get back to that.
Dude, by late 2027, there's going to be human sacrifices.
We're going to go to human sacrifices.
Yeah.
Listen, prices of beef are going way, way up. The meat of a human, very tender, very sweet. There's a lot of people we don't need.
Oh, are you better than Abraham? You can't can't sacrifice yours, huh? Okay.
So I guess there is some speculation that from the more conspiracy leaning folks that this could be underground nuclear tests. Although I think there'd be a lot of it. The radiation would be measurable if that was the case.
I would think so. Yeah.
This speaks to what we were talking about earlier. The last gas ship has arrived in California.
The last gas ship.
The last oil tanker from the Strait of Hormuz arrived at the Port of Long Beach recently. No. This is with gas, as we were talking about earlier. It's already over $6 a gallon. Sometimes it's up at $6.30, $6.40. State officials say that California holds just 4 to 6 weeks of petrol and diesel under normal demand conditions. And demand will obviously, I think, increase with people scared that they're going to run out. This is one of those things, much like the Atlantic current, where the Atlantic current melting, where you're like, oh, we're fucked on a level I did not really realize.
So my mother is a person, whenever she would drive my car, have her car, if her car got below half a tank of gas full, she'd be terrified.
Yeah.
And she'll go fill it up because of the gas crisis in the late 70s. That has just left a scar on her.
Right.
It's a piece of trauma that is still carrying on to this day. Yeah. And it feels like we're just going to get a bit of our own trauma.
Yeah. We're going to
what I'm saying? That we're gonna have that same feeling. 4 to 6 weeks, bro. I mean, and this is going to go on and on and on and on and on. There does not appear to be some sort of resolution in play here.
No, and there was just an exchange of drones and missile fire recently over the Hormuz Strait, which is not open, but they say it is. There's so much that comes from the petroleum producing industry in the region. There's helium, there's all these other things that they need the AI race can't do it without helium. There's plastics that come from the petroleum. There's of course the gas. There's the fact that gas is going to get more expensive. Airlines are already canceling flights. Yeah. Food's going to be more expensive because you got to drive it there. It's bad. It's very bad. And I'm with you, where I was fuck, I actually can't quite imagine how bad it is. I've been if there was a purchase I kind of wanted to do previously and I had a little room on the credit card, I've just been let me just do it now before it's nuts and nothing can move. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to buy you don't have one of those. I was at a USC spring game.
Yeah.
This week they have a little misting fan, and you can have it in your backyard. And I was like, oh man, I would love to have one of those in my yard. That's the thing, but you got to get it now,
right?
Because if you wait 6 months, or if you got a big furniture purchase or anything like that, any of that kind of shit, because it's about to get.
It's about to get crazy.
It's about to get really bad.
It's about to get really wild. What's
the other aspect of this?
Oh yeah,
we're running out of ammo. Apparently.
Oh yes.
CNN's got a report. The U.S. military has, quote, significantly depleted its stockpile of key missiles during this war with Iran, and created a, quote, near-term risk of running out of ammunition in a future conflict should one arise in the next few years. The numbers. Internal Defense Department stockpile assessments, at least 45% of its stockpile of precision strike missiles, at least half its inventory of THAAD missiles, which are the ones that intercept ballistic missiles, and then they're nearly 50% of its stockpile of Patriot air defense interceptor missiles. What
I love about this is that that's the Pentagon leaking, because there's people who work in that building who are like, yo, forget what people are saying on TV. We are kind of fucked, guys. This is all that information, which is from anonymous sources in the Pentagon that are just leaking, hey, we're out of ammo, which if people in the Pentagon are alarmed enough to be doing that in a context where it wasn't that long ago that Hegseth and others were like polygraphing everybody in the Pentagon because they were like, who's leaking stories about me that people don't like me? You have to take a polygraph now. The fact that they are leaking with such detail, I think is alarming, especially in the context of a world in which, you know, China has promised to be ready to take Taiwan by 2027, which is next year.
I mean, you wish you had a wartime general, right? So by which I mean
they probably fire him.
Yeah, right, right. But like, you know how like CBS News is in really bad shape. Like their ratings are really bad. A lot of their products were failing. They were in third place, so on and so forth. And this is a time when they need the best leadership possible, like somebody that actually knows what they're doing, that has worked in TV and the content game, and is like a dynamic leader.
Yes.
Right? They don't have that right now.
Not at all.
And that's what I feel about us and being at war right now.
No.
Because I'm just like, we don't have what we need.
It's like, do you ever we used to call it ghost riding. You get it like in a shopping cart and just let it roll down a hill. That's kind of what it feels like.
Oh, man.
Now, does it make you feel better that Trump has addressed the ammo issue on March 2nd? He said on Truth Social, quote, wars can be fought forever.
Yeah.
And very successfully using just these supplies, parentheses, which are better than other countries' finest arms, exclamation point. Or on March 3rd, the White House announced that the U.S. has, quote, virtually an unlimited supply. That makes you feel good. Yeah. April, quote, munitions in particular, at the high end, we have a lot.
Oh, man.
But we are preserving it. And finally, quote, it's a small price to pay to make sure that we stay tippy top.
It's unfortunate that he's the funniest president
he
ever.
He is very funny.
It's just offensive. It's really unfortunate. Hilarious.
The last thing, even though we are running out of ammo, apparently we have enough for firing squads. Because we're bringing... Trump's DOJ just announced they're bringing these back for federal executions. It's already been legal in 5 states.
Like Utah's one of them, right?
Utah's one of them. South Carolina, Oklahoma, Mississippi, and Idaho. They're typically the backup for lethal injection. It's part of it's part of a broader effort to sort of expedite the timeline for carrying out these capital punishments and everything like that, the death sentences. So they're trying to reduce appeals. So it's like,
hey, just right to the firing squad.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of those where it was like, I feel like they're inventing bad stuff that nobody was asking for. To just be like, we bring that one back, firing squad. What do we think? The little cigarette.
Did they like that one? If they don't like that one, we'll do the guillotine. We'll say we're going to do the guillotine in 6 months.
Too French. We love the guns. What else can we do with guns? It feels like this is a very creative, although very obvious, but like it feels like this is also an administration that could be like, what else could we? It feels like we can do other stuff with guns.
They're like playing against Jokic. Like, it's just, you imagine playing against somebody like James Harden, and it's just like, I can't keep up with your movement. Like, so, they come up with so much great shit to fuck the world up. Like, it was like, they were really, people, again, I knew that it was going to be bad, okay? And so, maybe, lucky me. But a lot of people just didn't consider how creative they would be with fucking up things. You know? And it's just like Jokic is like, oh shit, I didn't know. He just went around me. I didn't see that coming. He made that throw. I don't know how it happened.
Here's Todd Blanche on this big firing squad win. Quote, the prior administration, aka Biden, failed in its duty to protect the American people by refusing to pursue and carry out the ultimate punishment against the most dangerous criminals, including terrorists, child murderers, and cop killers.
I mean, I just imagine if you were reading this about another country, and there'll be the despot who is closing political ranks and slowly grabbing power, recently lowered the requirements needed to execute prisoners, because of an initiative to expedite, serious federal offenses. You would be like, man, that country is sliding into something horrible. Like, that is really scary.
Yes.
Yeah, but and it's like, like you said, I mean, it's just bad enough. The electric chair. Why did we have? Why
The
did it
electric
have
chair
to
was
be,
crazy enough.
It was crazy.
I mean, smoke coming out of the ears. It didn't always kill the person right away.
That is,
like
that is a.
It's the same thing with lethal injections too. Like some of these states, Oklahoma has tried to do lethal injections. A couple. I mean, I shouldn't speak without the facts in front of me. I know it's happened multiple times where they have had someone on the table and it doesn't happen for a while.
They've been using bootleg chemicals.
That's what it is.
Right. Yeah. Because a lot of them aren't allowed, and so they got to try to. They're trying to use palm olive and shit to try to kill people.
Because there's two. And again, I'm speaking extemporaneously, but I believe there's two chemicals that they mix. The first one is you go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then the second one is it stops the heart. And the second one is like extremely painful when it goes in.
Yes.
Which is, and I think to your point, like people have just been like,
well, they've just like been flailing around on the table for a long time and still not dying. It's
and Trump doesn't like that one. Blanche doesn't like that one. They flop around on the table.
I know, but I'm sure it's probably fun. Don't you think he'll get videos of all of them and just watch them?
That seems like something he'd do at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
well, isn't he the guy who made someone edit Bloodsport down to just all the fights or whatever? Like the time where the guy got kicked in the nuts. Like that's like his favorite moment in movies.
Is that really true?
There's some sort of story like that.
That's amazing. Good. I would like to see that tape. I would like to see that.
Well, man, Joel, I call you because
he's got Embiid on the mind.
Because I've got Embiid on the mind.
Oh, man.
One of from Trump to another one of history's great criminals. Joel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Joel.
My pleasure. Anytime, guys.
You're the best.